I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With a December snow blanketing much of the Midwest and Northeast, what a perfect time to be in the Sunshine State as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And the offense, my goodness, over 50 points in the win last weekend. When you do that, you're not going to lose very many games, maybe not any games.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led onto the field by their 6'6" quarterback, the former Arizona Wildcat, Nick Foles.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Here's Foles. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Foles under pressure again, and down he goes again.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. A 3-yard loss. Fourth down now. Well, as an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Throwing on first down is Allen. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Hey, let's go, let's go.
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. But now it'll be third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
17. Check, bumps it. Check, bumps it. Hey, check, go.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
58.
Now Allen again. And it'll be intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now Foles. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And they will be in the playoffs as champs of the AFC East. But as it stands now, Charles, they'd still have to host a game on Wild Card Weekend because they're looking up at slots 1 and 2.
Well, when the season began, they said, let's win our division first,
that's right?
That's the bottom line that gets you into the playoffs or the tournament, as a lot of the guys like to call it. So they're in. They'll host that first round, and then they'll see where it goes from there. But the bottom line, as always, get into the playoffs and take your chances from there.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there, perfectly executed crossing route. Allen now on first down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Juju Smith-Schuster. Touchdown number 18 on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Extra point by McCrane, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Nick Foles as he heads back out to work. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. This is their third drive right now. Maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. 7 yards on the carry, make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Taken in at the 22. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that's complete to Brown. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Allen now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Josh Allen in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. This is a nice little stretch he's putting together. Remember, 3 sacks last week.
And now he's off to the races in this game because he thinks, okay, that's the start of something big because he's in a zone. He's locked in. So offensively, you've got to occupy him. Maybe even run the ball at him as opposed to passing it so he can't just pin his ears back and rush the quarterback.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 33 yards that time.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3. Check 26, check 26.
The Bills with a football as we start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Bills with a football as we start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On second down now. It's Jones. He stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. "47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Allen now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. And here's Allen. From the gun, he'll throw. Going deep to the end zone for Juju. This is caught. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Now, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You can fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Extra point by McCrane, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense led by D.D. Westbrook trotting back onto the field. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he...
Ingram churning. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
Back-to-back running plays, putting them in negative territory. What can they do coming up on 3rd and 15? And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to a 1st down.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. John Brown now heading back onto the field as he gets set to go here. He's been really good in the yardage category, yet to hit the end zone, however.
A minor blemish against him right now because the work he's doing catching the ball, in some ways he's helping serve as good ball control because the big plays that he's making have really helped out his team.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Josh Allen, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Allen now looks to throw. Got a man, it's Brown. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. 27 yards there, a 1st down. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Mike's 47. Mike's 47. Got
Now Allen operating from the gun. Completes it to Aguilar. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit. A final shot before half for Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster as time expires in the first half. And the Bills will add on to their lead. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen, but when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
Extra point by McCrane, up and good. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one, as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal week.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
47's the mic. 47.
Allen now going to throw again. And John Brown's got it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And this is taken in at the 5. A big play here for Buffalo. 44 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Stephon Tuitt in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Watch the curve. Hey, hold. Alert. He's coming.
This is Jones. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another? And he'll get in! Touchdown, Buffalo! Ronald Jones, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale?
And oh, it's blocked. And the Jags get it. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way into the end zone, and that's 2 points.
That's our ball. Our ball.
So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Let's bring it.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48 and a return of 8. And out will come the offense as they take over. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
A pass down the middle is fought for and hauled in. He got 29 yards that time. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And Xavier Woods with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Watch the slip. Watch the slip.
At the 16-yard line.
Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. From the 38, Foles. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
But it's not been the best game for him. But he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, it hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. And now out come the Bills. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Here we go.
Throwing again. Allen. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Hey, watch this go.
Operating from the gun. Allen. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Stay with your man.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Right here, right here.
Now on 2nd and 13. Foles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Off the edge, Jerry Hughes gets the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly...
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Calais Campbell make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Hey, Charlie. Here I come again. Here I come again. Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Allen going to throw. He finds his target, John Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
58, boys, 58, 58, Mike. We got to get some smooth. Let's go.
Now Allen to throw. Throwing again. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Josh Allen, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because...
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. That sack by Tremaine Edmonds.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Foles, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Let him know, let him know. Mike's 47. Mike's 47.
Another try after the first down sack. Allen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. The Bills on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be third and forever. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. Oh, good move. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
You know, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Draw play. Ingram now. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there. Second down. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
Mike 47. Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
On third down, Ingram. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been terrific so far. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only 1 timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either.
Alert! Check 37.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Crunch. Eyes up, eyes up, eyes up.
On second down, it's Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll bring up a third down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And really, it looked at times like they just had this one in cruise control out there.
Yeah, they deserve a ton of credit because you and I both know, heck, they knew. This is a tough place to play. Overcame that with ease, romped home with an easy win. And here's the best part for them. It'd be easy to get to the airport because the crowd left pretty early in this one, didn't they?
Well, plus they have a police escort.
Okay, you had to spoil that part of it. Of course, they're going to get there. But think about how wide open things are now because this crowd didn't expect this.
No.
So they went back to the tailgate and said, let's go eat. This one isn't any fun for us.
Yeah, they took the drama out of this one pretty early on. So for the Bills, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move.